Good morning, Jason. And
Good
Alex.
morning. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Morning, Ed.
Good morning.
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 Wonderful. Okay, so we've just gone live. Thank you for jumping on the call today. I was just telling the guys earlier that I haven't stopped all day today, just doing updates and just fixing up a few things, getting a few things organized. So, okay, so the DTB system, we actually just today released a new update to one of the automated strategies, and it's the strategy that we're going to be working on this session. So there's always constant updates being made to the system. There's always new improvements being made, and we've actually achieved something now that is quite groundbreaking. So I'm going to introduce something to you in this call that I believe that nobody actually has. So that's pretty exciting. With the DTB system, it's important to understand the limitations with trading in general. So there's risk disclosures associated with trading futures. So have a good look through those and also review the video. There's a link to it in the video. Okay, I'm going to jump straight into my VPS, and we're going to have a quick look at the optimization. So we're still using the analytical strategy. Now, what I've actually done is I'm just going to open up a quick chart and open the chart over here. And let me just get this on my screen. So I'm going to open up a new chart, and then we can have a look at just at the strategy, what it looks like on the chart. So as an example, I'm going to just load a 10 bar on the DTB bars. Okay, so 10 and a 10, and we'll just make it the last week. That's fine. I'm just going to load that up to show the strategies. Okay, so the strategies now has an extra strategy listed in there. So it's called the DTB Analytical Strategy 1 Continuous. So the analytical one is the one we've been working on the call since the beginning. And the Analytical Strategy 1 has got an A and a B setting. So if you look at the settings that we've been optimizing, the setting A and the setting B. That's the main things that we've been optimizing. Now, the second version of the strategy is called the Analytical Strategy 1 Continuous. And what this one has is it has the same features as the other one, but it also has different slots built into it. So it's got 10 slots built in, and these are time slots. So what this does is it gives you the opportunity to be able to optimize each slot of the day and have an A and B setting for each slot. So scrolling down a little bit, you've got setting A, the slot 1 start, a start time and end time, slot 2 a start time and an end time. So you can basically go break up your day into different hours and different slots, and you can optimize values for specific hours of the day. So that is pretty cool. And you can also optimize an entire day or an entire period. So you can use like a month's worth of data, and you can go and optimize each section of the day to give you the best settings for every hour of the day or every patch of hours. And you also have the ability to go and choose which slots you want to use. So if you don't want to use all 10, you can uncheck the boxes and only optimize certain parts. So that is one of the cool things about the strategy. It's just giving you, more options to be able to fine tune your strategies. There's also an option here that says exit open positions at the end of each slot. So what that does is if trades are entered between these specific slots, at the end time, it will actually exit any open positions. So you would do that if you were selecting different slots of the day. So if you were selecting like slot 1, slot 4, and slot 9, you would definitely use the exit open positions at the end of each slot, because you don't want trades to be carried over from previous slots and then that they're unmanaged. So that's a good thing. So I'll just go load up like a template that I loaded up that I created earlier on here. Just remove this other one, and we might be using this specific one on the call today. So I'll just load it up on my sim chart first. And what I've done over here is I have, let me just see, template, load, NQ3030. Okay, for some reason, it has saved it with all those slots. Not a problem. So what I've done over here is, I wonder if I used, maybe I haven't optimized it on this machine. I was working on two different machines. Okay, so what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to go and disable all the slots except for slot number 7. Okay, and I'm only going to be optimizing slot number 7. So that is the one that we're going to be using. And I shared something in the Skype group earlier. I don't know what the setting was. Does anybody know what the setting was on the 3030 template that I downloaded or that I saved in? No. Okay, well, we'll go and optimize it anyway.
I can check quickly.
Okay. It's not that one. So basically,
6 and 40.
Okay, no, that's not right. Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's saved correctly. So very quickly, what we'll do is we'll look at this. So this one here specifically has got, it's got the 6 and the 40 because the default is 640, so it hasn't been optimized. But we'll quickly look at what the chart looks like. So what it's going to do is it's only going to analyze. It's only going to show you results of the time slot that was selected. So because I selected the time slot 7, which is 9 a.m. to 9:55, what happens is it's only going to enter positions within that time slot, and it's going to exit at the end of that slot. It's going to say outside time slot. So you don't even have to actually have a trading hours set up. You don't even have to have a trading hours time slot on your chart. Like at the top of the chart, we had the the AM hours and the PM hours for actually trading. So you can actually just use the specific slots on here to actually control your trading hours. Okay, so what I'm going to do is anyway, that was supposed to be a 30-30 bar. Okay, so here's my optimization. What's going on? Okay, so it was actually an 838. So I'm going to just save this. So I'm going to go template, and I'm going to go save, and I'm going to call it NQ30 slot, slot 10. It's supposed to be slot 7. Slot 7, 9 to 9:55 a.m. Okay, so now I'm going to go and open up a trading chart again. So I'm going to go to a new chart, and let's pop that on there, and we can actually have a look at it historically while it's loaded. So it's a DTB bars chart, and it's a 30 and a 30 like this. And we actually had, I optimized from the 26th of the 9th up until today. Oh, you're kidding me. I clicked cancel instead of okay. Oh goodness. All right, let me do this a little bit slower. So DTB bars, it's a 30 and a 30 bar. So we're also using the DTB bars now instead of the analytical bars, just because they have a very consistent, format that they run from. Okay, so okay, I'll okay that one. Let's see. Okay, so strategies. And I'm going to go and load that one up and just see if the template has actually saved. So template, load, the 30, load. Okay, there we go. So what's happened is I've only selected slot 7. Okay, so slot 7, and you see all the rest of the settings are 1, 1, 1, 1. So just so I can see that those are not being used. So I can immediately easily switch down to slot 7. I can say, okay, number 838 is the value that we have got, and we're exiting the position at the end of the slot, and we can actually check our start time and our end time. Once we've got all of that, we can choose our account that we're trading on, and we can go wait until flat, apply, and okay. And as you will see, this bar over here, that's green, that's showing us that we are inside trading hours now of the slot that's been selected. Okay, so let's have a look back at the chart. So as an example, here is the last trading day, which was the 29th. So the 29th, again, it only starts painting the bars, the color, like the bright red and the green, once the price, or once the time is within the slot that you are trading. So it's very easy to see whether you are in a slot or not. And I actually think there is a way to modify the color. Is there? Well, I think I've disabled that because there's just too many. Actually, no, there we go. So there's an up bars color and a down bars color. So that'll be the coloring of the bar that you're seeing on the screen. So I've just got lime and red. So you can go and change these colors to pink and purple if you want, really. And that's what that's going to do, is it's going to tell you that you are now currently within a slot that you have selected. Okay, so looking back at this chart, as you can see, so that was the previous slot where it entered that trade and then that trade. And then going back a bit, that was the next slot. It actually only entered 1 or 2 trades over there. That was the previous slot. And remember, we're still only using 9 a.m. up until 9:58. So it's a very short period of time that we're actually trading this chart. So it's literally only this window over here on the whole day that we are trading. And each of these colored little sections are telling you that those are the slots. And you'll even see sometimes there weren't any trades during those specific days. So this is more of a setting that you can use for not high frequency trading. It's got a good history of entering 1 or 2 trades per session, and it's made basically $14,000 over the last 30 days with a 62% accuracy with a 1200 drawdown. So that is what this specific setting has created. So I'm going to just let this run in the background over there, and we'll look at our optimizations. Okay, so the one that you're seeing now was this optimization. Now I could have gone and looked at a few others. So there was that one. Let's have a look at this one. This one over here has got a slightly less net profit, but it's got a slightly higher drawdown, but with more trades. So 69 trades versus 35. So you can look at that. And the good thing too is you can see what has the strategy done recently. Okay, so the last day, which was the 29th, that entered 2 positions. The day before entered 4 positions, and that's what it made on those sessions. So again, all I've done over here is I've selected true as time slot 7, and I've optimized between 1 and 20 and 1 and 40 for setting A and B on time slot 7. And time slot 7 has a start time of 9 a.m. to an end time of 9:55. So the cool thing about this is you can go and, as we discussed, as I mentioned, you can basically go and optimize all different periods of the day. Have I got my camera still going? I do. I should have hit that. It's better if you can see more on the screen. So any questions on that from you guys on the call, or you guys were on my call earlier, so you probably you know, up to speed with that.
All good here, Jason.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I did over here on this bar, I started off with a 30-30. So I used a 30 bar and a 30 bar. And then I did another optimization and I used a 28 bar. So I just basically cycled through through a few different bar sizes. And this literally took me about 5 minutes to do. I did it 5 minutes before the call started because I just basically ran out of time. And that's why I basically stuck with that first one, which was the 30-30, but we may even just add something during the call, especially if we're not going to, you know, get many positions entered. So we'll monitor that. Okay, so that was a 30-30 bar. Let's have a look at some other optimizations. So these are different values. So, I mean, we do have some decent values. I just found that 30 bar immediately just stood out at me. That had showed the best consistency. Some of these bars showed extremely good results earlier on, like from the 27th of the 9th, had a huge run of very highly consistent results, but then it kind of tapered off and then dropped a little bit. So that's also going to happen with settings. You could have where you have really good settings where the one day, you know, they could make $2,700 and the next day lose $60. So you're never going to get that true consistency of it always just climbing up and up and up. But we are still trying to find the best, you know, the best possibility of us being on good settings, which is why this to me just looked a bit more, you know, a bit better. Okay, so while I've got this running, I'm actually going to do a few more optimizations just so we can see what else we can do. So any other bar sizes you guys recommend that I should look at?
Jason, I was looking at an 18-18 actually, analytical bars.
Oh,
But
okay.
using your old, using
Sure.
the other way of doing it, the 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mondays.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you've gone specifically to the 5 a.m. to 1 p.m., right? Or for Mondays only?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just see.
Where
are you? There, 5 a.m.
The last, 5 a.m. to Mondays, and I just did well the last Monday in September till now.
Okay,
So
I'm going to run this on the
Mondays.
DTB. I'm going to run this on the DTB bars and see what that looks like.
Sure.
Okay, so what we've basically done here is we're looking at specific days. We're looking at Mondays specifically. Okay, so this is going to bring up results specifically for a Monday between 9 a.m. and 9:55. Okay, this is on the DTB bars though. Okay, so that is on that. I just want to see the chart, see what that looks like. Okay, so I've got break at end of day on. I don't actually. Oh, for some reason it's showing it. How is that even possible? Break at end of day. I'm going to remove it. Oh, I see what's happening because it's going 5 a.m. So the price is basically traveling all the way from where it closed off, and then it's restarting back again. So that's fine. It's exactly doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so that's doing that value. Okay, so looking at the history of this one, analysis, it showed on my side, it's showing this as only one specific trade, but you can go and I'll go switch to the analytical bars and see what that looks like. So the analytical bars, and we'll go 18 and 18. I've got you use break at end of day, right?
Yeah, for the analytical one, yeah. But I'm
Yes.
not, I haven't toyed with the continuous strategy yet.
Got you.
I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball with work today, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so this is what this one is showing me. So we've got, you know, a decent amount of trades entering. Is this similar to what yours look like?
Yeah, I had one with about 23 trades over the 5 days, about
Okay.
$6,800 profit with a net drawdown of 700.
Okay, perfect. All right. So one of the big differences too with this specific assembly and this specific version of the strategy is that the A and B settings are resetting at the beginning of every slot. So what will happen now is if I shared this specific template with you, you would have these exact results because there's a lot more resets during the day where these slots are being recalculated. So on the old one, what basically happened was the A and B settings that the calculation started from the beginning of the trading chart. So wherever the beginning of the trading chart, it started calculating A and B settings, A and B settings, A and B settings. So what happened there is if there's any sort of inconsistency in data, it's going to throw it out a bit. Whereas this, every single time at 9 a.m., it's going to restart that A and B setting count. So it's a little bit more, consistent in that regard. Okay, so I'll check what else we can do. So let's go for a 14 and an 8 and see what that looks like. And we've got 921. I want to try and get a better strategy, another one listed for us for our session. And we'll see what that looks like. So this one's a little bit better. It's 30 trades, 6,200 over that period, 40% analysis. So those are those Mondays basically. So it's got 1, 2, 3, the last 27, 4, 11, 18. So it's actually missing 25. So it didn't enter any trades on the 25th, but it entered every other one. Okay. I'm actually going to run an optimization of the data series. So I'm going to optimize the data series and I'm going to go between an 8 and a 48 in increments of 8. So hopefully this won't take too long to run. So run that up and just see what it looks like. Again, we're also only optimizing a very small amount of data. So that also helps with speeding up the process. I've got the analytical bars. I should have already done the DTB bars, but that's okay. It'll actually be the same on the analytical bars, even though they have slightly different setups with the starting bar of the day. If we go break it end of day on and I share my template, it should actually match up on yours too. Okay, so this is not taking long, which is very good. And what I'll do is I'll actually run, if we get some good results from here, I'll run a chart next to this one. And if the one enters a position, I'll pause the other strategy. So we'll just do that. Or I might even just run them both. Okay, so here is an optimization. I've got 7,000, 6,651. So this one doesn't look too bad. I've got 51. This is pretty good. So over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, it's basically made these values. So quite high results. So let me go save this value here. So it's a 24/8 bar. Okay, so I'm going to go template, save, and I'm going to call this NQ 24_8. And I'm going to just call it slot 7. So slot 7 analytical. Okay, perfect. I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to bring up a chart. So I'm going to go and duplicate this chart here. Okay. And change the data series. So we'll go to the data series and we'll make it a 24/8 analytical bars. So 24 and an 8. Okay. All right. And then strategy, I'm going to go pop on that same strategy. And go to the template, load. We'll pop on that exact same one that we just saved. Make sure that's all been selected, which it has. And we'll use the account that we are trading on, which is the number 2. Wait until flat, synchronize account, apply, and okay. We should be seeing the same results on the bottom of this chart, which we're not. So I've got to go back to the data series and uncheck that break at end of day because that flicked in. So when you optimize without using break at end of day, you've actually got to make sure that you have break at end of day unchecked. If you're optimizing with break at end of day, have it checked. Okay, so that's still not, you know what the problem is the data series. I have not selected that specific trading hours. So remember, we're only using the Monday 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. as the trading hours. Okay. So once I apply that, it's only going to load this data, and that's what we want to see because we're only using that very specific data. And let me just see. So data series 26th of the 9th. Okay. To the today's date, we've got break at end of day has to be on. Apply. Okay. 64775. Okay, so now we know that those are matching. So if you look at the values on there, they're actually matching fine. So I'm going to go put these on here. Okay, so we're coming up to the top of the hour. So what I'll do is I'll put my strategy aside. I'll put this strategy over here, this chart that we have in there. And I'll put this one next to it. Now, we'll see if this specific one enters a position during the session or not. And I may even go and load up a YM chart or something too. I don't mind having multiple strategies running at the same time. So we can look at doing that too. So I'm going to go start this. So what's happened there is it's starting to view the data of today. And what I might do is I might just, actually I'll leave it full scale so we can see the action of the market open. Even if it's just for the first 10 minutes or so, and then go from there. Now you'll notice on the buttons over here, it doesn't say a setting A and B. I've still got to put some code in there to say if within this slot show this, if within that slot show that value. I mean, it's just another what is it, 40, 50, 100 lines of code I've got to go add in there to make the buttons show correctly of which values are currently being used. So I'll get to that eventually. Okay, so here's the open. Okay, so we've got our first signal, our first trade on the left-hand chart. I might just go to the properties and increase the size of this to make it a bit bigger. And I'll do the same over here. So properties, we'll go bigger here too. So not the best start. So the Nasdaq is at crazy heights. I mean, I saw it go to 15,900 earlier. I mean, how the hell it got there? Only, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The height of it at the moment, where it is. So we've come up to the brick wall. I don't have any specific. I might just duplicate this in a new window and load up some of the Fibonacci levels to see what they look like. Okay, indicators, let's see. So I'll put the Fibonacci levels on there too. That'll be fine. So we're probably near a Fibonacci level. I would say a Fibonacci level will be underneath us somewhere. It seems, I don't know, we'll see in a moment. Hopefully that's beneath us. Okay, so we've had a switch over trade over there. Great. Okay, so let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. We had the price hit our highs earlier, which was that 15,915. Okay, let me just go to my data series over here. Come on. And just untick the box over here. Okay, so obviously we had all those new highs. Now the price has come down to the 5-minute 76. So it basically came down, closed below that 5-minute 76. So that's a good sign. We've got a big gap below price to this value over here, the 4-hour 76.4. So that's the next level of resistance for the price, which is basically 169 ticks from where we are now. So this is going to continue going down. It's really only going to struggle at these levels. So that's where it's going to be struggling next. I'll put this out the way. And monitor that on another chart. So a little bit unfortunate, we started off with a sell over there, a buy over there. Just that first signal that it came, we were actually in a sell signal and it switched to a buy, and then it didn't pick up that this was a sell because of various factors that were taken into consideration. But what it did do is come and bounce off this brick wall. So probably a good indication that if you're not in a sell position when the price is coming and bouncing off a brick wall like that, you want to be in that sell. Fortunately, we've had a confirmed breakout down, so we'll see what this price is actually going to do next. We have a kind of a buy signal here. It hasn't switched over to a buy signal because there's a few things that haven't fallen into place for that to be a buy signal, just like the sell signal over here. So we'll judge what happens. We'll see what happens over here. I might just change the properties of this to make this a bit narrower. There we go. You see now that turned out to be like a fake break up for right now, and it switched back to a sell. So that's still in a sell. And let's just do the properties over here as well. So properties, and what is this, a 60? That should be fine. So the price is near the 61.8. So we'll see if there's a bounce off that. I think what a good thing to do over here also on this specific chart is to pop on the indicator, which is the shadow trading indicator. So I'll do that on here also when this loads. So I'll pop on the shadow trading indicator, which we've also got an automated strategy for this specific indicator. So the indicator that I'm going to load right now has actually got a automated strategy attached to it. I'm just going to be doing some little updates on it to add the buttons and things. But this is the current version of it. Okay, so when we start seeing arrows, we're getting to an over sold type of a situation. We had some arrows on top. But generally, when this price is switching over, when this price is crossing over, when the momentum line is crossing over price, that is generally where that accurate signal will be to go long. So let's see what's happened over here. Okay, so this is switched over to a long signal, and we've actually got a long over here too on this strategy. So this strategy is entered into a long as well. Let's see how that turns out. So we're coming back to this brick wall. One of those had switched over, or they both switched over to a sell as well. So this seems like it wants to drop. Kind of at a point now, at a junction where we've got a Fibonacci level in place over here. We do have the 61.8. Momentum line is still below the price on our 5-minute chart. So that is something we can keep an eye on. Oh, goodness. How's it going on your side, guys? Have you reached your targets and things yet?
My slot starts at 8:45, so mine is not kicked in yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the open purposely. The opening range, the 15-minute opening range, and then I go from there.
Okay, no problem. Good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a switch around in signals over here, which is a bit of a pain. It's a little bit of a jumping around. I'm not sure what is going on over here. Last thing you want is a bounce around of a brick wall like we're seeing over here. But we'll just monitor that. I'm just going to let it run basically. So yeah, that's not looking the greatest over here today with these zigzagging signals. Okay, so now we're in long positions. So the good thing about where the price is right now, we've got a divergence of price. I still see, I mean, we've got the divergences over here. We have the momentum line still below, so this could still be sucking this price down, unfortunately. Okay, so looking at the 30-30, so we've had a few days where we've gone down. We've gone 600 today on this one. Okay, so that's that one. And I just want to see what's happened on this specific strategy here. So strategy performance. Okay, so we had this nice long run up, and now it's just we're in this little downwards spiral at the moment. So the good thing, not the good thing, but one of the things that you can do is you can go and run your optimization again. So we're using the 24, so I'm going to stick with the 24/8. And the good thing about this is we can actually optimize the values again. So I'm going to stick with the 24 and 8. I'm going to take off this this thing over here. Where is it? The optimizing data series, like that. Okay. And I'm going to run that. Okay, so the settings that we are using over here on this chart, if we look at this chart, the 24/8 chart, what settings are we using? So if I go to the strategy and we go into the A and B settings, so this is using a 835, okay? So 835 is in here. Now, here is the strategy analyzer, okay? So you can go and look at the settings and it's still the top setting. So if you notice a little bit down the screen, it says setting A slot 7 835. So this is showing you basically today's data, and it's showing that of the trades we entered today, there's been actually 7 positions and it's had losing positions. So the analyzer is still going to give us the accurate results of what is happening on the chart. So it's not like the analyzer gives you, different results to actual live trading. You are still going to get, and that's that zigzag thing, you see. So we started off with that losing position, which is exactly what the analyzer is telling us. Then we had that winning position, and then we had a little bit of a zigzag over here. And we had currently where the price was up. So the analyzer is always going to give you the accurate results of what the strategies are doing, and you can keep running this optimization. So you can keep running this optimization, and this also gives you the opportunity to be able to switch your settings if you find something else that is better for the session. So let's have a look at that while we are here. So there is still that same setting, which is, the 835. If you start scrolling a little bit down, you'll get some different settings. Okay. You can look at, are there any settings today that are giving better results? So at the moment, not on this bar size, you see. This bar size, it's still showing that the top result is the one that we're currently on. Even though we've had some losing positions today, it's still showing as that's the current bar. If, however, you go and re-optimize the bar size, you will get different results from that. You'll be able to get different bar sizes that could be effective. So let's go and optimize the data series of this one. So I'm going to start with the 8. So the 8. And we'll go to 48 with the 8, increment. So we're going to basically optimize all the bar sizes between, those values 8, 8 and up to 48, 8. And it's going to give us the best settings, which, or the best bar sizes, which are currently performing. Getting a bit slaughtered at the background, yeah. we've had a lot of these zigzagging. Look at this. It's been zigzagging a lot. So it seems like today the market is just a little bit crap for us. It's not really giving us what we are used to. And on your side, guys, how are things going on your side?
Mine made it to the goal already, Jason. I am at let's see, on my NISA. I did a NISA Renko 16x4. It's now at $1,000. So I'm happy.
You're up 1,000.
Yeah.
Great. That's really good. I'm probably down about 2,000 at this stage. That's okay. Okay, so looking at these settings, there's been a few other bar sizes which have performed during the session, but even on these, you know, we've still had a lot of zigzagging of you know, of these trades doing all their thing, and like singular trades. So today it hasn't actually been a very productive day for the strategies. Yeah, and actually showing a considerable drop. So, you know, that's definitely what happens. You're going to have days where you know it's going to break that cycle of that run up. And so that was that one. And what is this one doing? So the last 2 days did show a drop. I thought I would use it. It still showed that, you know, I chose this one, so I guess that's on me. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is what we're gonna experience, hey. All right, so what is our 5-minute chart doing? So that there is going to give us a good indication. So looks like we're getting multiple divergences again over here. So we're at the 61.8, multiple divergences to tell us that this price is very likely to be going up. Seeing that it's failed at the 61. So let's hope we see a little bit of a bounce up from here and we stay in these long positions. Who knows, we might go up 100 ticks. Although unfortunately, the session's going to be exiting in the next 5 minutes or so. So we'll see where it actually ends up. So if this price comes up and closes above the 76.4, that's where we'll probably see the price jumping up. Okay, so this one's outside of its time slot. All right. So this one here is not outside of its time slot yet because the bar has to close. So if this closes down, it will exit this position. So the bar, it will always exit at the end of a bar close. And it looks like this is going to close down. There we go. So we unfortunately had a bit of a bad session on my side, at least. I'm glad that you did very well, Eduardo. How did you go on your side, Paul?
Jason, my live account good. I was an idiot. I paused it a bit too early. Left about $600 on the table.
Okay.
So all in all, it would have been 2 strategies. One was about 1,000 and the other is about 500.
Okay, so at least you're up, right?
Oh yeah, green for both. Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, I don't mind me losing money, but if you guys make money, I'm very happy.
Oh, dude, you've clearly got some magic going on here. So yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had a very bad session personally, but I mean that's fine with me. It doesn't really bother me.
It happens.
Let me tell you, the Ninja Renko is, I mean, the strategy reads those candles very nicely.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I'll mix it up a little bit. You know, I'll mix it a bit tomorrow. I might have one Ninja Renko chart running and another on DTB bars. And we'll play around with a few things. Good stuff. Okay, thanks guys for being on the call, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Jason, thanks very much.
Okay, cheers guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Jason. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.